Hi friends, this is Tracy Brown, and my team and I of non-diet dietitians provide trauma-informed care so that you can feel safer in your own skin. And I just wanted to bring up a really commonplace, I think, dilemma that people find themselves in when they're trying to do any kind of recovery work, whether it's chronic dieting, emotional eating, eating disorders, whatever, honestly, you're calling what's going on for you. And there are two, and maybe if we get to it, three pretty common things or scenarios that people that gets them kind of stuck. It gets them in this a little bit of this vortex, right? And I'll just jump right into it, is that sometimes if you are coming off a lot of a chaotic eating or restrictive eating of any kind, especially even including or especially even mental restriction, is that people actually want to jump into intuitive eating faster than they have readiness interoceptively. And what that means is they want to just kind of eat and have eating be normal and kind of wing it before they have enough nutrition rehabilitation. All that fancy language means that, like, look, I've either been restricting or binging for decades. I don't really know how to eat from hunger and fullness, but I also don't know what else to do. So I'll just kind of eat and hope for the best. And really what most of us need to do is to go back to get into some mechanical, I know I'm kind of repeating myself, I talk about this a lot, is some mechanical pattern of eating that creates some expectancy in your body. Your body knows it's going to get fed, and that you're reliable. You're reliable regardless of the circumstances to feed yourself regular meals and snacks, even when you're busy, even when you're tired, even when you're kind of sick. I mean, the food choices can vary and the hunger of fullness can vary, but the thing that doesn't really go away is that you don't abandon yourself when things are more stressful or harder or take more planning. And so we tend to kind of jump into like, oh, I just don't diet. And those are the things I think that make people actually run away from intuitive eating. They feel like it's a free-for-all, and it's really not. It's just that chronic dieting and binging, they have chaos. But then if we have I know what I'm doing and I'm slowing down, if we don't have any of this either, that feels like chaos. But the middle ground is actually being very intentional. And so, but being intentional isn't the same thing as being perfectionistic and obsessive and rigid and like white knuckling things either. So the cart before the horse really is, I want to be an intuitive eater, but I don't feed myself regularly. If we're not feeding ourselves regularly and enough, it's hard to do intuitive eating. Okay. And the other thing that I see a lot of people kind of get sabotaged by, to be honest, is trying to do too much, maybe higher level nutrition interventions on themselves before they have ever really done full permission to eat. So let's say that you do have a health condition and maybe there are varying levels of intensity of nutrition interventions you might try to improve your health condition, but you're still under eating or overeating or not consistently eating. And so by default, it's like, well, we're not going to do much healing with the nutrition interventions you're doing anyway, when you're still in this much fight or flight, freeze or please, and you're still kind of under eating and under sleeping or whatever's going on. So there's still, we haven't taken care of first things first. Is that first is always adequacy and working on your regulation. Then it's so much easier for these, let's say, higher level nutrition interventions to work. I'll be really honest. And so a lot of times, let's say if somebody has some insulin resistance of any kind, yeah, we're addressing that, but we're doing work around sleep or doing work on eating adequacy and predictability and consistency and maybe very basic meal mix kind of changes, but then and maybe some supplements, but I don't want to do any higher level nutrition stuff with people really until there's a baseline of people are getting their needs met. Because you put all that effort into the nutrition stuff, but it's not really helping you that much because your life is still on fire and you're not sleeping enough. And there's still a lot of like body shaming. There's still a lot of stuff going on that's making it harder for the nutrition things to have that much of a difference. So I hope that gives you some clarity, maybe some nuance, and maybe why some of your struggles with this process are kind of sticking around longer than you'd like, is because there just hasn't been enough embodiment of the earlier stages of the process. So if we're not eating regularly, if we're not getting into safe relationships, if we're not like creating a life that's less disordered around the food work we're trying to do, working on boundaries, there's a bunch of stuff to be talking about here to make the nutrition piece of this like easier, and they stick and they don't feel like just another diet, basically. So I hope this video was helpful for anybody who's feeling a little stuck. I am going to talk a little bit about another step of this, would be some movement part of this as well in the next video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.